Have you ever noticed something strange? Two people can read the exact same real estate book, watch the same YouTube videos, even buy houses in the same neighborhood. Yet, 20 years later, one owns 50 rental properties, while the other is still saying, I'm waiting for the market to get better. So, what happened? See, that's a problem. I studied mathematics in college. I took a course in advanced economics. There I learned about the behaviors. Much of this behavior comes down to something we used to call risk tolerance, also known as risk appetite. It's not like the guy who didn't buy any rentals wasn't smarter. No. Also, not necessary that the guy who bought those rentals had rich parents. No luck either. Yes, sometimes there is some luck, but not all the time. Most of the time, the biggest difference isn't even money. It's the mindset. In mathematics, there are 3 levels of risk appetite. These are risk averse, risk seeking, and risk neutral. And before you click away thinking that this is another motivational speech about positive thinking, it is not. It is about lessons we learned in school and then applying them here in the real world, in the world of real estate investing. Today, I want to challenge those of you who have been thinking seriously about investing in real estate and still haven't done it. You are either risk averse or risk neutral, which is fine. But the world we live in needs us to be more willing to take certain degree of risk. This is a capitalist country after all, isn't it? I was like that too. I was forced into buying my first rental property. I used to live in a rental home and my mom would constantly tell me to get a house of my own. I wasn't even sure about my job. This was in 2011. The economy was still garbage. I used to live in Raleigh and I wasn't even sure if that sleepy town would boom. So I bought my first home in Alexandria, Northern Virginia, and it was for $107,000. I thought to myself, what's the worst that could happen? I could lose the $20,000 that I'm putting down in as down payment at most, isn't it? I wasn't a risk seeker. I would categorize me as risk neutral, trending northwards. That's how you do it. You always start small. Today, I'm talking about the 4 very practical mental switches that completely changed how I invest in real estate. These are not quotes that you hang on your wall. No, we use them in our daily lives, practical lives. These are ways of thinking that affect every offer you make, every property you buy, every tenant you screen, and every decision that either makes you wealthier or keeps you stuck. Else, think about it. What is the alternative? If you apply a traditional W2 employee mindset to real estate investing, you will fail. Or worse, you will never start. By the end of this video, I want you to ask yourself one question. Which one of these 4 switches have I never flipped? Because chances are that's the one thing that's costing you the most money. And stick around for the 4th switch. In my opinion, it's the most powerful one of them, and it is the real reason why ordinary people quietly become millionaires while everyone else is chasing the next shiny object. Let's get started. Hey everyone, if you don't know me or are new to my channel, my name is Vikram Chopra. I was an investment banker turned broker in the greater Charlotte metropolitan area where I live and invest and help other investors reach their financial goals through real estate investing. Mental switch number 1, stop buying houses, start buying income. Here's the first mindset shift. Most beginners think they're buying a house. Successful investors know they are buying a stream of income. They are acquiring a business. That sounds simple, but it's a completely different way of looking at a deal. When you cross over into the world of real estate investing, emotion is the greatest enemy. Throw it out. I never care about what's inside the walls of the house that I buy for investment. For me, the size of the house and the location where it's located, that's paramount. Everything else, I don't care. I don't care about the paint color. I don't care about how many lights are in the house or what kind of appliances are in there. Of course, I want all of that to be functional. Imagine someone tells you they are selling a rental property. Beginners start asking, is it a nice neighborhood? What color is the kitchen? Does it have granite countertops? No! Investors like you and me will ask, how much rent does it produce? What are the expenses? What will be the cash flow after all the reserves? What's the cap rate? What is the NOI? What is the cash on cash return? Are the current rents below the true market value? Notice the difference? One person is shopping like a homeowner, the other person is shopping like a business owner. Years ago, I realized something. My tenants never paid me because the backsplash looked nice. They paid me because they needed a clean, safe place to live. And that's it. Every property is a small business. Revenue comes in, expenses go out. The difference is what you keep as profit. The sooner you start looking at rentals that way, the better your decisions become. If a property is located in an area with strong population growth, robust job diversification, low vacancy rates, and the mathematical formulas show that it will generate a steady cash on cash return after setting aside real world reserves for maintenance and vacancies, it is a good business to acquire. It doesn't matter if you hate the color of the carpet. It doesn't matter if the kitchen looks like it was designed in 1994. In fact, as an investor, you actually want to find properties that look unappealing or have cosmetic problems. Yes. You know why? Because now that represents an opportunity to add value and to force equity growth and negotiate with the seller when you're trying to buy it. Yes, while the emotional buyers run away from houses with leaking roofs or outdated styling, the investor sees an underperforming business that can be acquired at a discount, optimized, and turned into a highly profitable stream of positive cash flow. Here's a quick quiz. If two homes cost exactly the same, one rents for $2,300, the other rents for $1,900, which one is a better investment? Think about it. If your answer was the first one, not necessarily. What if the first one has twice the maintenance cost, higher insurance, higher taxes? You are screwed. That's why you have to be careful. This is exactly why investors focus on net income, not just rent. The numbers tell the truth. The emotions don't. Whenever I look at a property today, I don't picture myself living in there. I picture my spreadsheet. That one mental habit has saved me from buying expensive mistakes. But here's the interesting part. Even investors who understand cash flow often stay broke. Why? Because they're making a second mental mistake. Let's talk about it. Mental switch number 2. Stop chasing perfect deals. Start chasing consistency. Have you ever noticed that some people spend 5 years analyzing deals, watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading books, and yet somehow they never buy anything? Analysis feels productive, but analysis doesn't build wealth. Action builds wealth. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying buy a bad deal. I'm saying stop waiting for the mythical perfect deal, because it does not exist. The perfect neighborhood does not exist. The perfect interest rate does not exist. The perfect tenant does not exist. The perfect time does not exist. Every single investor I know has bought properties they later realized were not perfect, but they still bought it anyways because they understood something important. Good decisions made consistently usually beat perfect decisions made occasionally. I studied this concept in school, not knowing it's going to impact my life. It's called the velocity of money, and this is for the risk-aware friends of mine. Velocity of money is the perfect strategy for de-risking your investment. You find a way to get your initial capital out as soon as possible, and that also consistently. Think about going to the gym. You don't get fit from one incredible workout. You get fit from hundreds of average workouts. Ha! Look at me. Even after going to the gym for years, I am still incredibly far away from being fit. Real estate works the same way. One decent rental property bought every year for 10 years can completely change your financial future. Yet, many people want 10 years hoping to buy one perfect property. Guess who wins? The consistent investor. Here's another question. Would you rather own one amazing rental properties or 10 good rental properties? Most wealthy landlords choose the second answer because multiple income streams reduce risk. One vacancy doesn't destroy your cash flow. One repair doesn't ruin your year. One difficult tenant does not end your investing journey. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence leads to bigger opportunities. This is how portfolios grow. Not through one magical purchase, but through dozens of disciplined decisions. And you know what? I'm not even the most consistent guy out there. Successful investors always recommend over and over again to buy properties in the B and C neighborhoods, and they're right about it. I'm not shy to say that I have some rental properties in the D neighborhoods too. What to do if I want to buy one investment property in 1 year and the only one where the math works is in a C- neighborhoods? I am going for it. I am not waiting. Now, I won't buy in areas that are toxic. Going there is like risking life. I won't do that. No. Now here's where most investors get stuck. Even after buying their first few properties, fear doesn't disappear. It simply changes, which brings to the mental switch number 3. By the way, if you're a beginner or an investor and are looking for guidance on how to get started in real estate, feel free to book a 20-minute free phone call with me. Link below in the description. Mental switch number 3. Stop avoiding risk. Start managing risk. People often tell me, I don't want to invest because it's risky. Really? Compared to what? Depending entirely on one paycheck? Hoping your employer never downsizes? Trusting inflation won't reduce your purchasing power? My first job at Honda, the car company in Torrance, California. My first job was at Honda, the car company in Torrance, California. The first day I go to the office, I'm introduced to this old lady, Judy. She told me that she has been working there for 30 years. This old lady is so frail, I saw her walk to the bathroom holding the walls. She's like a great grandma. Anyways, a few months go by and one day when I come to work, I see her empty desk. I'm new to corporate America. I'm naive. I ask around and people tell me that she has been laid off. I am shocked. She spent 30 years working that job and one fine day, poof, it's over. Oh my God. In the coming days and weeks, a seed was planted in my brain that I need to do something besides this job of mine. Screw the risk ever strategy. I wasn't going to be taken for a ride by corporate America. I was ready to dive in. I was ready to take freaking any risk in life, not become like Judy when I'm in my 60s. Here's a reality check from a helpful peer. The perfect time will never come and the risk will never drop to zero. Never. The economy is always doing something unpredictable. Interest rates are either up or down. Prices are either perceived as too high or the market is too unstable. If you're looking for a reason not to take action, the world will always hand you a perfect excuse in a silver platter. Risk mitigation is such an important concept. Every financial decision has risk. Even buying a car has risk associated with that. What if you own a Korean car and the main parts used to come from that factory in Georgia? Trump shut that plant down. You remember ICE raided that facility and deported more than 300 workers working in there? Remember that? If your car needs a new transmission, what will you do? Wait for 4 weeks before it arrives from Busan in South Korea? Well, that is what it is. The goal isn't to eliminate risk. It is to manage it. Professional investors don't ask, is this risky? They ask, can I control the risk? Can I inspect the property? Can I verify the rent? Can I screen the tenant? Can I build repair reserves? Can I buy below the market value? Can I choose a growing area? Notice something? Most of these are manageable. That's very different from gambling. If you are middle-aged like me and haven't bought a rental home till now, but inclining towards buying one, now is the time before it gets too late. Everything has a cost in this world. Not buying rentals also has a cost. You can check out my video here on the cost that you will pay if you don't get a rental for yourself. Here's some food for thought. What causes more investors to fail? A market crash or buying without doing proper due diligence? What is it? What do you think? Poor decisions hurt investors far more often than market cycles. Markets recover. Bad decisions are harder to recover from. One reason I've stayed in this long-term rental is because I focus on reducing uncertainty before I buy. I inspect carefully, I estimate repairs conservatively, I keep cash reserves. I assume things will break because eventually almost everything does. When I walk into a rental for the first time, I know for a fact that everything I see in that house needs to be replaced. Everything. If it is a long-term rental, which is what I buy, then yes, everything needs to be replaced and I want to do it too. The roofs age, water heaters fail, air conditioners stop working. This is not bad luck. This is part of owning a rental property. That's why you need a positive cash flowing property always. And that's why if you're planning to invest money in real estate, go ahead and book that free 20-minute call with me. We can discuss your situation together. Successful investors do not panic when repairs happen. They budget for them. Once you accept that, real estate becomes much less stressful. But there is one final mental switch that separates financially comfortable investors from the truly wealthy ones. And this one changes everything. Mental switch number 4, stop thinking about income, start thinking about ownership. I read in a book, what drives us humans to achieve something? The answer is fear or desire. Fear of something or desire to get somewhere. In my case, it was fear of corporate America. The fact that if someone like Judy, who had worked there for 30 years, was fired in a single day, no one's job is secure. No. And now, especially with the advent of AI bots who can do almost everything we do, it is more important than ever to get into this business of real estate investing. This is the biggest shift I've ever made. That's why if you have questions, doubts, concerns, go ahead and book that free 20-minute call with me. Most people measure success by the income. Investors measure success by ownership. Think about it. If you make $300,000 a year but own very few assets, what happens if your income stops? Now imagine someone earning less but owning 20 rental properties. Every month, those assets keep producing income. Over time, rents increase, loans get paid down. Property values often appreciate, the tenants help build the owner's equity. That's why wealthy people spend so much time acquiring assets instead of simply increasing income. Income pays today's bill. Assets pays tomorrow's bills. Here's something I wish someone had told me years earlier. Your salary can make you comfortable. Your assets can make you financially independent. There is a difference. When I bought my first rental property, I wasn't thinking about owning dozens. No, I was just simply trying to buy one good investment property, then another. Eventually, those small decisions became a portfolio. Not because I was extraordinary, no, but because I stayed consistent. People often overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, and they dramatically underestimate what they can accomplish in 15 years. That's how wealth quietly gets built. One property, one tenant, one mortgage payment, 1 year at a time. Here's the final question for you. If someone offered you $1 million today or ownership of assets producing $1 million over the coming years, which would you choose? Many people will take the cash. Investors think differently. They ask, what keeps paying me after today? That's a mindset shift. You really need to start thinking about leverage. From the time you were old enough to understand what a dollar was, you were probably told that debt is the ultimate financial sin. Don't carry a balance on your credit card. Pay off your car loans as fast as possible, live within your means, and for the most part, this advice is completely correct when it comes to consumer debt. Consumer debt is a trap. It's when you borrow money to buy something that loses value the second you buy it. When you put a vacation, a designer bag, or a high-end car on credit card, you are borrowing from your future self to fund a lifestyle you presently cannot afford. You're paying interest to own a depreciating asset. This is bad debt, and it will keep you broke forever. But when you step into the world of real estate investing, you have to realize that not all debt is created equal. Successful investors do not fear debt. They respect it, calculate it, and use it as a high-powered tool. We call this leverage. Leverage amplifies ownership. Let's now bring it all together. Let's quickly recap the 4 mental switches. Switch number 1, stop buying houses, start buying income. Switch number 2, stop chasing perfection, start chasing consistency. Switch number 3, stop avoiding risk, start managing risk. Switch number 4, stop thinking about income, start thinking about ownership. None of these ideas require you to be rich. None require a finance degree. None require perfect timing. But together, they completely change how you approach real estate investing. The interesting thing is that successful investors do not necessarily know more than everyone else. Often, they simply think differently. They look at opportunities differently. They evaluate risk differently. They define wealth differently. And over time, those different decisions compound, just like money compounds. If you're new to real estate, don't feel like you have to master everything overnight. Focus on changing one mental habit this week. Maybe you start analyzing properties based on cash flow instead of emotions. Maybe you stop waiting for the perfect deal. Maybe you finally make that first offer after months of hesitation. Small shifts create big outcomes. I'd love to know in the comments below, which of these 4 mindsets do you think is holding you back the most? And more importantly, which ones are you going to flip first? If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, because every week I share practical strategies to help everyday people build long-term wealth through real estate investing. Remember, real estate doesn't make people rich overnight, but the right mindset combined with consistent action over many years has created financial freedom for countless ordinary people. There is no reason it can't do the same for you. And if you think you can retire comfortably just on rental income, watch my video on how to do that. So until next time, this is Vikram signing off. Good luck, goodbye, and go on your freedom by flipping over switches that are holding you back. Let's start a revolution. Long live freedom. Freedom from poverty, freedom from bad bosses, freedom from anything that stops us from building our business.